Hey y'all. So there's one more thing that I wanted to mention, or talk about really when we are looking at the repentance and the change, and that verse from 1 John 3:9, and the separating of the chaff and the seed. That seed has the weight. It's anchored. It's heavy. That chaff is nothing, blown away and destroyed. Um, 2 Timothy 3:5. This is a pretty powerful verse. For although they hold a form of godliness, they hold a form of piety or true religion, they deny and reject and are strangers to the power of it. Their conduct belies the genuineness of their profession. Avoid all such people. So there are people that have a form of godliness or true religion, holiness, becoming like God, but they have a form of it. A form is empty. So they could have the appearance of it, but not actually have the weight of it. Now, the chaff is the covering of the seed, right? So it might have the appearance of the seed, it might be the same color, but it's only a form, and it's empty without the seed. And so it says they hold a form of godliness, but they deny and reject and are strangers to the power of it. The power of what? The power of the gospel, the power of godliness, the power of becoming like Him. And so they have denied repentance, grace, the changing of themselves. Yeah, it's a pretense, and it's a falsity, and it's a form. And I don't want to have a form of godliness, but be a stranger to true godliness. Do you understand that? The King James says, having a form of godliness. The Amplified says, who hold a form of piety. Let me see here what the Passion, how the Passion words that. 2 Timothy 3. Okay, they may pretend to have a respect for God, but in reality, they want nothing to do with God's power. I need God's power in my life. And so I want to have a genuine respect and understanding and relationship with Him, with His power, with His goodness. I don't have time to just be an empty form. I want to have that relationship with His power. So, and it's not up to us to do the work of changing. When our hearts are in true repentance, realizing and recognizing this was wrong, I shouldn't be doing this, this is not how we live, this is not pleasing to the Father, and our hearts are repentant, meaning that we desire to turn and walk the other way, then that's when the grace of God, because grace is an empowering force. When we read Hebrews chapter 4, I think, is it 4:16? Yeah. So 4:16, let us fearlessly, confidently, and boldly draw near to the throne of grace, to the throne of God's unmerited favor, that we may receive mercy for our failures and grace to help in good time for every need. Appropriate, well-timed help coming just when we need it. So when our hearts are there and ready for God to do the work, knowing that we want to move in a different direction, there is an empowering grace, good time, well-timed help coming just when we need it, and the mercy for our failures. Just like the chaff, blown away, non-existent anymore. There's no trace of it anymore. And God has provided a way to help us come out and start over. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, y'all.